you mentioned kind of that leadership piece, and the leadership question to me is always interesting, because I was talking with a friend of mine, and I think I think everybody I think everybody knows that they want to work for a good leader. They
Yeah.
want to be a good leader, and I think on some level they might even know what it takes, but they tend to be few and far between out there. You
Yeah.
know, like when you're filling that role of a leader well. So I'm not even going to award it to where I'm going to make you just sit here and pat yourself on the back for the next few minutes. So
Yeah.
when
Please
you're
don't.
when you're doing it well,
Yeah.
right? Or like when
Yeah.
you've seen leadership modeled in the workplace, what are some of those things? What do you think are some of those key points to that leadership component?
So I think a big piece of this is the type of leader you want to be, and so I believe in servant leadership.
Mm,
And so, you asked how I got to Blichmann. I came to Blichmann right after my first son was born. I believe he was a couple months old. And what drew me to Blichmann was family. Family comes first. So
mhm,
I remember within a month of me starting at Blichmann, we had a lady that worked for us actually fell into a fire
oh, no.
and got burnt really bad. She was out like a month and a half. And so at the time, I mean, we wanted to make sure we took care of her. So she didn't have PTO or anything like that. John paid her the whole time she was out. Your job's still going to be here, just the reassurance and making sure we take care of people, do right by people. And that carries through, even in your message when you talk about pro and helping people turn dreams into reality. I mean, it's all about helping people. We've got just an incredible team. And when I did that training, it was all about, you, you can't teach someone to care about others.
Sure,
Or it's extremely difficult to do that. I would say that. So
sure.
from a sales standpoint, that was something when we look at the team, when we look at bringing people in, it was more about who are they as a person? Do they care
Mhm.
about the people around them? We're not there to just make a buck. We want to help people. Um, so let me circle circle back to your other question about
Sure.
leadership, but I believe in servant leadership, and so you can tell if you are a good leader by the success of your whole team.
Mm,
And that's really the principle of servant leadership. If you're serving your employees, not the other way around, if you're serving them, you're doing everything you can to make them successful. And
yeah.
so when you see your team being successful, you see them learning, you see them growing. For example, I mentioned to you before we jumped on, my kids are on fall break. So I'm home today, home tomorrow, spending time with the kiddos, got some quality time today, which is great. Um, I didn't get so Friday I took off, but I was on the phone most of the day in emails. Today, didn't touch it.
Yeah.
And there's a piece there too, which is nice to disconnect a little bit, Adam.
Mm,
But beyond that, I can only do that because I have an incredible team at work. I
mm,
know they're going to take care of things. I know they're going to make the right decisions, and so I guess I feel like being a leader is pouring into your people. And the same thing that I talked about, it's hard to train in sales. It's the same thing when you're in leadership. Are you a leader because you want to be in charge? Or are you a leader because you want to help the people around you?
yeah.
And I think that shows up to people. I
Yeah.
truly think that shows up to people. And so I really believe in helping all my employees succeed. And so whatever they need, we do one-on-ones and talk through things and do different book clubs. And I guess the goal is just always learn and grow.
Sure.
Um, and if I'm helping them do that, then I think I am a good leader, and it may not be that the position they're in is the perfect fit for them today, but 5-10 years from now, even if they go to some other company, they're going to be more successful there if we helped them to learn and grow while they were at Blichmann. So
Sure. No,
different way to look at it, I know, but
no, I really like that a lot. In you mentioned, but before I lose the thought on it, you mentioned
yeah.
that you do one-on-ones. How often do you do one-on-ones?
So with my direct team every week,
Okay.
so, and we just
Nice.
sit down and even, when we have our management meetings too, it's sit down and how can we support each other? How can we help each other?
Yeah.
Communication is huge. And so we'll run into, day-to-day issues and little problems come up or different challenges come up and we just find solutions and move past them. But the weekly is a good time to just sit down, reset. How are things going? Where are we at? And one of the most difficult things I think in leadership too is being willing to have the difficult, honest conversations.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I've worked for people and I've seen people where The elephant's in the room. You both know it.
Yeah,
You know it's there.
yeah,
So you might as well just bring it up, talk it through. And
sure.
and if you approach it in the right way, when it comes from your heart and you genuinely care about the person, it's not in a malicious, I'm blaming you, you screwed up, I'm mad type of a
Yeah,
thing. It's hey, I care. Hey, I know this happened. What can we do to help that? The next time we run into it, it's more about learning
sure.
than just playing the blame game. Now, certainly the tough part of that, Adam, is knowing when you got to draw a line too.
Yeah, yeah.
You're seeing the same things from people over and over. That's a tough part of leadership. But people respect you if you're willing to have that conversation.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're going to maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.